Hmm. Oh. Yes!
Alright, let me play this with Forgone Power. I feel more confident about the damage output on Forgone Power, and Talos runs I'm often not confident about the damage output. What is my initial draft? Please show me a sweeper. Ugh, none of those sweep. We have a Battle Dancer and an Upbeat Warbler, a Quoths and Titan's Gratitude. If I can get some shift cards, we could maybe be in a really good place for shifting stuff. Got Pyre Hunter Archeon. Very punishing because we like to overpack floors when we're playing um, Talos. We've got the Doombringer Strixen Hallow, which is the Slay Incant variety, and Chosen of Entropy. This all threatens to like dunk my damage into the floor with a lot of sap. We have a lot of incoming sap. Oh, Void Fragment versus Celestial Cascade. I think I need to pick Celestial Cascade here, and I might not do enough damage otherwise. Play Celestial Radiance or Enchantress. I really wanted to have the other option that was not these. I have no shift cards in my initial set. If I had shift cards in my initial set, I'd almost certainly be going for Radiance. I'm going to go Enchantress instead, which is also kind of a bet because it's the weaker stat block. But I think I might be able to overcount. I wish this was not Uriel, but let's try it. I'm going to try to overpack the bottom floor and out-tank the boss. So I want Shield Steward, Battle Dancer, Shield Steward, Talos. And we just send Talos to the bottom floor. We play a bunch of Inspires, and we want to get this Valor up to the limit. But the double Valor on Inspire should be pretty helpful, I think. That is my game plan, my thought, the entirety of my stratagem. That's what we've got. I'm going to send this so we can kill the Collector. I don't get to play Upbeat Warbler on the same floor, but play these guys. Fallen Champion might kill one of them at this rate. We need to focus on playing those above all else. Take the one. Okay, what's our boss preview look like? Bad. Got it. I hate that. What if, hear me out, hit you with a Forgone Power? Still really bad. Okay. How screwed are we? If I move Talos up here, Talos can pick up Valor. I do 150 to Uriel. Talos picks up the 10 armor. How's your rage looking? You only do 8 damage now. I don't get to fly again. So I live, but Talos doesn't, so we don't get to celebrate. I need a better tank. None of those are a better tank, but one of those cards is Divinity, which is kind of cool. There's our first shift card as well. Let me try this. I want to take Flash Freeze so that I have better tools against the boss. I think if I at least get one Celebrate in for Archeon, I could be in a good spot. I would really like to have a Sweeper unit or a better Frontliner. Stygian can give me either one of those. We've also got the Merchant of Steel here, which is pretty good. Smidge Immortal is not what I want to see. The Bravestone could be okay. Yeah, let me take the Titan Sentry. And I'm going to give it the Bravestone. So with this, I think we play the bottom floor as Titan Sentry, Battle Dancer, Upbeat Warbler, Talos. And I think that should be okay. I am maybe going to re-roll this and send it. Do I maybe want to wait for that? Okay, yeah, let's re-roll it once. Speed, large. I could go with a large stone on the Titan Sentry. That is pretty playable. Yeah, let me do that. This should be a configuration that absolutely allows me to celebrate, which is the only thing I actually care about right now. I just want to get in a celebration. If I celebrate for at least one fight, I become monumentally stronger. Pyre Dampener. That blocks me off of the Calcified Ember. Otherwise, we can play pretty normally. Elibor should lose to this frontliner. Let's see. I need to get all of my units onto the train. Let's see, I think I Titan Stratum here. Rather than spend a consume spell now. I spent out of being able to drop the Calcified Ember here. Okay, both the Upbeat Warblers get to see the Celebrate. We're going to be playing a very, like, marginal in-the-weeds game where we need to get every last bit of numbers. I think I want to take this Windblade for our Battle Dancer. There is a good argument for Rising Rage, because Rising Rage is awesome. And it can help us overpack cars and do some other stuff. I'm going to take the Rising Rage, actually. I'm going to skip that. Those cards don't help very much. I think I'm looking over here for another unit, Merchant of Steel, and then go to the alcove. Steel showing Brave, Immortal, Rune, Smidge. It keeps showing me Immortal and Smidge, and I'm getting a bit annoyed. Coast Guard is very difficult to play, but it is good with Aquaths, and it does actually scale up with better stats. I'm going to try it. And we're going to Smidge Stone it. Good Smidge Stone recipient. I cannot afford to reroll here. I'm not excited about purging units because I want to preserve as many of my celebration benefits as possible. So I think I just put some starting valor onto the Battle Dancer and probably move on here. Then we'll check the event. What do you got for me? Bone Dog. Okay, there's a funny note here, which is that we can try to celebrate with the Bone Dog on board. I'm going to take it. We can try to scale up the Bone Dog. I do prefer the funny option a lot of the time. I think if you don't play, like, for the lulls along the way, it makes for a worse streaming experience. It's just what it is. Titan Sentry is the thing I'm definitely sure about, and I think we might actually just make our other play the Host Guard and move on. But I could also do, like, Battle Dancer Shield Steward. The Host Guard is really hard to play later, so let me just play the Host Guard here, and we'll put in Talos. We got our Bone Dog and our Upbeat Warbler. And he actually cleans up the bottom cars pretty nicely for a good while. We're going to focus on hurting the boss. So our absolute priority is to get all of our guys out on the table. That's about the only thing that matters. We also need to try and prevent Pyre Hunts whenever possible. So this is 22 damage coming in. I can stop that with this Shield Steward. We can get out the Battle Dancer. And if I fly Talos to this floor, we can fit in another Upbeat Warbler up here. This is maybe underutilizing the Rising Rage, but I'm okay with it. I just want all my stuff on the table. It's the only thing that matters. Okay, this floor is fine and safe. I would like to be able to move my Shield Steward, but if he doesn't move here, it's not the end of the world. Let me ditch my Calcified Ember, and then Watts back in. I can play the Spear Steward down here. I want to Flash Freeze the boss, and I think this is my widest floor. Inspire here. Okay, we've got a bit too much damage coming in here. I'd rather not lose both of these units, but I don't see an alternative to it. Actually, hold on. I can fly in him and benefit from the Heavenly Slam, and we take care of business. And now I can do this. This is incidental. The Bone Dog is possibly in danger. My card draw did not draw into saving the Bone Dog necessarily. But I can sacrifice just one unit and save the Bone Dog like this, while still doing some damage to the boss. Rather than the Titan's Gratitude, I think I hit him with double Forgone Power here, and he dies to Frostbite in the first round of combat down below. That's probably about the same or more damage. So I lose one Spear Steward, and I think I should be able to celebrate with basically everybody else. Okay, we're not killing with just the Titan Sentry. Bird. I cannot fly anything else down there. Titan's Gratitude you away. Alright, so these two won't get to be in on the celebration, but let me try and celebrate with all of these. What are we looking like? Okay. The Battle Dancer lives, the Host Guard does not live, and the Shield Steward does not live. That doesn't help much. I can Heavy Slam for 17 damage. 15-ish, actually. I did not do math correctly. Titan's Gratitude. The Shield Steward's now alive. We're dying on the first attack, so this won't help anything change. Alright, we lost two things. I agree with that. You learn from suboptimal choices, and you, like, find more things that you can do. Okay, so we got our Bone Dog trigger, and we got our Talos Celebrate hitting both of our other guys. Tome of the Lost Path is pretty good. Heaven's Word is pretty good. Death Metal Hymnus is pretty good. All these cards are great. I feel like I probably want to take Heaven's Word, because I do want to make super packed up, crazy big floors. And this is one of the better cards in the game for doing that. Between the two of these, this is tough. Or the three of these, rather. The Avenger's a really good stat block, but the Steadfast Crusader both triggers shift and actually scales with my stat block, which is maybe more important. Okay. This is a very difficult choice between energy and size. I think what we do is send it on energy, and we try to solve our size problems by moving things around with Rising Rage. The Host Guard's Heavenly Slam is also a flight ability. Talos also flies. So we're just going to do this and try to keep cramming everybody into our stupid train. I want to go to the Merchant of Magic to look for Rising Rage upgrades. Easy choice here, by the way. We were hoping for Intrinsic, not seeing it. I'm still going to take Spell Chain onto Rising Rage. And I'm going to take Freeze Stone onto Rising Rage. So that lets us play as... So when we want it, we play it twice. Swift Steel is less valuable to me because I've already got two Upbeat Warblers granting quick. Upbeat Warblers can be silenced, I think, because they're an enchant effect. The Swift Steel Dagger is not silenceable. I haven't seen a sweep unit yet, also, which is a little annoying. Exile's Diadem can be played to the Titan Sentry to reduce him to size 1, which might help me pack in more units, so I'm going to take the Diadem. Increasing health off of the Diadem is also important to not only the Titan Sentry, because he naturally likes being tanky, but it's also good on a unit like the Host Guard or the Steadfast Crusader, who cares about his health total. I'm going to keep upgrading on Enchantress to keep scaling our health values and continue to, like, play off of this health total matters setup. I think I want to take a -2 consume onto maybe one of these Inspires. And I'm going to take a +10 spell power onto a Titan's Gratitude. So it's for 100 instead of 60. Then I'm going to move on. Okay. Yeah, Titan Skin 4 is fine. We can do that. So the core game plan is still Titan Sentry at the front. That's the thing that matters the most. With my 5 energy, I think I set up Host Guard, Crusader, Battle Dancer. Set the Host Guard wherever because he can fly in. I think I'm going to put the Battle Dancer... Where? Actually, let's do it like this. So that at some point these guys can shift around and empower the Battle Dancer, and Talos can go anywhere. Good start. Okay, with this... let me see. I can play the Shield Steward, then fly her, play the Upbeat Warbler, then I can play Heaven's Word, which advances this entire floor, so we get a very overpacked floor with one unit that can fly out of the floor on quick demand if necessary. The Corruption's going to kind of add up on this guy, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's a thing. Power up these guys, all of them. This guy's going to hold down the floor for a while, and then at this point, he's inevitably going to die. 60 damage versus... Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. I can't pack this floor any higher, so I'm just going to slam into you, which also triggers his Valor. I'm going to do that to get another Valor trigger on the Battle Dancer. Let's see. I think I might fly Talos somewhere, but it seems cosmetic right now. Try and do it when it matters. He's not really scaling Valor here, so he's going to be in trouble. I'm going to bring in the Bone Dog, and then we're going to move the Bone Dog up out of there. And then we're going to move the Bone Dog up out of there as well. Try and make that thing as safe as possible. I'll blast you. Okay, so he's falling over now. Probably okay with me. I can move this unit back to the front. See, this guy could go somewhere else and be valuable because he's got 53 Valor. Makes him hit pretty hard. I'm going to play this unit to get it on board. We don't know if it's going to be able to survive because, of course, the boss is showing up in a moment. Let's see. I'm actually going to selfless sacrifice this guy to the front of this line. I think he's a better tank right now. The Host Guard will be able to move starting next round. I might be able to send down Talos and the Host Guard to fight on this floor. Think about that in a little bit. I'm going to Diadem this guy, which gets us a free slot on this floor, so I could have played the Upbeat Warbler here. It's a bit of a mistake. Okay, so we lose him. These guys are all in. I think we give up on that floor. Let's see, if I fly Talos down, it doesn't free up enough space to play anything new. I think what we do is probably inspire one of these sets. We inspire here. I think we might be winning off the top floor at the moment. The Spear Steward makes a quick attack here, which allows it to eliminate one of these Misshapen Fiends. And eliminate the other Misshapen Fiends, so that we just get a couple kills here to soften up the floor. Okay, now what are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think what we do here is we probably do this for the Heavenly Slam. Then we move you out. I'm at the 7 unit limit here. And then I think I put one of these guys in the front. I'm not sure who just yet. I'll figure out in a sec. Throw that at you. You already die here on this floor from your current Frostbite. So we're just going to win with this set of 7, is my game plan. Got a 68 health unit in the front of the line. That's probably good. Okay, our 68 health unit is dying. It's not really what I want to see. I'd like for him to be able to scale. Let me do this, lose this guy instead. Alright, sure. We get our Bone Dog Celebrate and our Talos Celebrate. So we are still stuck on working with, like, a mishmash mosh pit among our units. Shield of Wing should be incredibly strong. I'm skipping there. I don't care about any of those. Stygian's not really doing anything for us here. Really, we were hoping that Stygian would give us a sweep unit, and I might check here to see if I get one. I might be able to find a sweep unit. We have, I think, a lot of units that can receive meaningful upgrades, so let's go over here. So our upgrades are Large Stone, Titan Stone. Those sure are meaningful things. And now we get a Sweeper. So now we can play a Sweeper to the bottom floor. I think I'd like to Large Stone the Host Guard, because it doesn't actually increase his size. And then I'd like to Titan Stone probably the Steadfast Crusader. Then I'd like to re-roll this to check for quick. We didn't get it. I will Heartstone the Steadfast Crusader. Health total matters. I don't think I'm looking to smidge anything. See, I might try to remove a unit. This Spear Steward has caught no Celebrates, so I'm going to purge him from the deck. He's pretty weak. I could afford one more Purge, maybe Runestone. Immortal Stone probably isn't worth doing. What would I put this on? I'm not even sure where I would put this, so it's probably a no for me, dog. Let's see. I think I'm going to Purge a Forgone Power, because they're a little weak. And I want to redraw my Rising Rage more often. Event. This is a duplicator. Let's see. If I pay like 20 life here, I can wind up getting 1 duplicator. Or I could take random duplicates. Because it takes a couple of fights before this matures. I think if I pay 10, I get it at the end of next fight. So I could pay 10 life, and at the end of fight 6, get the event, which means I duplicate for fights 7 and 8. So I could get up to 2 duplicates. Duplicates are strong for us, because our units are going to be scaled. Yeah. I will plant the seed. And we will lose 10 health and wait 1 combat. So at the end of combat 6, I should receive this artifact. Actually, no, it's at the end of combat 5, isn't it? So we have it for combat 6. This Pyre Dampener is pretty nasty. I am not going to take that challenge. We really need to be able to play our units. And that obviously makes it harder to do. So I'm going to bring in these 2 immediately. Bring in Talos. Yeah, I think it's the Host Guard and the Crusader here. What order? Yeah, let me do it like this for now. Make sure we have a capable high health unit in the front of every floor. Doesn't matter immediately, but okay. Alright, I'm actually going to start the fight by bringing in some more bodies down here. Double inspiring to set up a pretty powerful front line. Let's see, I think I want to be filling up the top floor first. There's our bone dog. We'll go in here. We'll go in where we fit. The Heaven's Word is very powerful in terms of its ability to pack up our units. So I want to make sure I'm packing one full floor into another full floor when I play that. Let me do this. Titan's Gratitude gets rid of him, so I'll play that. There's some Rising Rage plays. I do that. Little damage shield is nice. This. This is where I can fit the Battle Dancer. Get to use some of his Valor. Play Shield Steward there. I don't want to play into the Shield Bearer, so I'm going to Inspire here. Yeah, our Valor is holding even with the damage, so that's good. Okay, we got our Shield of Wing here. Just gonna play that there. Looks like we diadem here. Put in the Warbler. I'll do that. Okay, what are we looking at for our last round's preview? Okay, we win while losing the Titan Sentry on this configuration. So I think what I'm going to do instead is bring in the Warbler and then Heaven's Word this entire floor. I'm going to Heavenly Slam first for the damage. That is leaving Talos behind. That's unacceptable. Put you up top. You would give me the right preview. There we go. Inspire here. Does put the Titan Sentry in a bit of an awkward spot. We'll see if that's problematic in a moment. Okay, how does this turn out? He reanimates. Okay, now he kills the Host Guard, but nothing else. I probably can't do better than that. We are at the 7-unit limit. Now the Host Guard doesn't die. Nice. That is a big celebrate. I should note that Titan Skin is the bane of our existence because we're based on doing, like, really tiny amounts of damage several times. The Punk Shredder does not matter very much. The Liquid Courage should be pretty good. I will gladly take an unnamed tome. There's our Life Mother's effect. So Life Mother's Bloom is one copy. If you let it grow, you get like a copy of everything you deploy or something crazy like that. They were showing that off in like the previews of everything. When you like look at the patches. Okay, so we could go over here for the Pyre Remains. Maybe the Merchant of Magic helps. Or we can get Forgotten Boons, Merchant of Trinkets, which is probably worth 2 trinkets and an event. So what do we get out of our spell upgrades? Honestly, the upgraded Rising Rage is probably what I wanted the most. Upgrading Selfless Sacrifice or Heaven's Word would be very powerful. There are possibly game plans where we go crazy with an Inspire too, getting like a spell chain discount Inspire, but that's only worth like 2 extra Valor. I think I just want to check more events and trinkets. I think this has better outcomes in a lot of cases. Yeah, Ancient Pinion's pretty good. The Attuned Whetstone can get me the Shield of Wing immediately. It's very strong. I don't have a playoff Dante's Footstool, so I'm going to take Pinion. We do have Angels moving around quite a bit. So this should be pretty good. Ooh, I can get an Endless unit with random equipment. The 2 followers are interesting because they can benefit from the celebrates. If I can find somewhere to fit them in. Naturally, our cars are pretty packed. What are we red crowning? So I might want to red crown the Titan Sentry, but because he's size 3, he's a little hard to replay. I'm thinking about red crowning the Host Guard because he's only size 1. So there might be more cases where we can kind of cheekily fit him somewhere. And I think we can be more adaptable to what equipment he draws. Also, because he's endless, I mean, he's very expensive to play, so replaying him is going to be a pain. But anytime he comes back from endless, his ability is going to be refreshed. After Strix and Hollow, I think we're taking Bar Size to help us with playing some of our stuff. We'll see how this ends up. I'm kind of playing this from the hip. Shield of Wing is just going to be super, super strong here. That's like the biggest takeaways. Like, you've got Shield of Wing. Pretty good. There's also an argument for energy, because maybe I need to deploy stronger. This Glass Cannon is cringe. But I can kind of, like, fly him away somewhere to tuck him behind something, or I can just let him die, because he's endless. He's gonna come back. I think I'm just gonna do this, though. For now. I think I want to damage shield Strix's damage here, because it's a lot. On turn 1, with 7 turns left, Frostbite 8, I think, is more than 60 damage. So long as I play it onto Strix, as Hallow will Titan Skin it. Hallow's Titan Skin is going to be a pain this fight. I mentioned just last fight that Titan Skin does suck for us. Okay, I cannot really fit these units in. If I fly Talos out, then I've got 2 open slots. Let me try that, and then I can play 1 Warbler here, a Warbler here, Follower, and then Courage, which should block quite a lot of damage. I'm going to keep the Permafrosted Rising Rage, so I think I'll need that to help pack some floors up. I want more Valor on my bottom floor than I currently have. That's doing well. It's actually doing okay. If I Rage you, then Slam. Now I can fit in a Spear Steward. Spear Steward. I gotta find my way to the words a little bit there. This should be my strongest Fort of Valor on. Although this Titan Sentry certainly needs more Valor. I'm missing my shift for Valor dude right now. We really want him to be hanging out somewhere. Which of you has the worst mechanic? I'm not letting Strix slay at the moment, so the Incant is probably the worst mechanic. I'm not really playing into it, though. I would love to fly Talos out and then play something else. I can't quite fit it yet. Depending on what it is. I can fly her down. And then I could fit a 2-unit in on this floor, which should be coming up soon. So let's play around that. I'm tempted to slam with the Host Guard and then replay him the next turn. His slam is worth 130 damage. But removing him from this floor doesn't help much. I haven't drawn my Heaven's Word yet. So I think I'm just going to slam kill this guy. He gets to pick up his Valor 17 armor, which could help. And then I want to inspire up this floor, because I need more Valor on this Titan Sentry and more damage on the sweep. I have nowhere for the Shield Steward. I don't need to play this yet. I'm just going to send that. Okay, we lost the Frozen spell. Okay, he's getting beat up. Okay, so he dies this turn, and I have no one to protect him. Yeah, he's just going to go. I can play this follower back here. I think I want some Valor for the Warbler. He's dying with 3 waves left, but I really just don't have an answer for it. That unfortunately gives a Slay, but I get to redraw him off the Endless. Now I have the Heaven's Word. And let me fix some of those problems. Get him in. Okay, he pulled a Overgrowth Carapace. That's funny. I'm actually just gonna see. Play a Quaths. See another cool play. Fly you up. Battle Dancer here. And now I can Heaven's Word to move the Battle Dancer up this floor. Protect Cold Kelia. It should leave the Host Guard in front. I don't know if I have anything else that I need to play anywhere. I'm going to hold that ability for a little later. And I'm going to put the Diadem here. This gives an extra slot. I'm not sure if I wind up using that slot for anything. Rising Rage option, but nothing to do with it. Yeah, I'll play into your Incant a little bit. Once again, I have to be concerned that Hallow just might not be taking very much damage from most of what I want to do. Let's go ahead and silence him here, and then I could maybe Rising Rage some of his units. I could fly down the Host Guard to blow up the Shield Bearer and then Rising Rage back. I think that's good because it triggers the shift in the Battle Dancer twice. It does get me some better stats. The Gratitude to remove the Sapper so I can inspire freely. And then Forgone Power kills that Sharp Eye in the front. Alright, let's see what our preview looks like the final bout. How are we doing? We're losing the Host Guard, but killing everything. Now, what if we do this? Still lose the Host Guard. Alright, that's fine. We'll celebrate with basically everybody else. Yeah, ultimately our damage is based on doing a dozen tiny chunks of damage to this guy. I think the Frostbite's probably the most significant chunk against him, so it's unsurprising that it takes out one of my units. Let me see. Tome of the Lost Path is pretty helpful in a couple cases. The Death Metal Hymnist certainly, like, increases a lot of my power in a lot of places. I feel like I gotta take the Hymnist, and then I'm gonna take Heaven's Light to make it easier to play stuff in these places. Alright, we've got our duplicate. We could duplicate the Hymnist. I could duplicate the Host Guard, because the endless tiny Host Guards represent a lot of stats. It's a lot of energy, but it's just a lot of stats. I could also duplicate Heaven's Word to help me with packing these cars more densely. Let's see. On Fight 7, I think the stability of having a second Heaven's Word is more important than the Host Guard. I really want the Merchant of Arms because we are operating on no rooms. I don't have the space to play an Inferno room at all. Weapons cache can find me the Diadem and the Shield of Wing, but I already have an Attuned Whetstone, so it's less valuable. We could Bloodthirsty the Cold Kalia, and it's fine. We won't regret that. Glass Cannon, Weapons Cache, Hall of Mirrors. Alright, we're gonna do some crazy shit. I'm going Deployable Hall of Mirrors. So, the game plan here is we deploy Hall of Mirrors to the top floor, we get 2 copies of Talos, and we try to double celebrate with Talos and the Bone Dog. Thank you very much. Good night to you, Zuds. Or good gaming to you if you're heading off to game. It is only 9:30. And we're going Enchantress 3, so we get +10, +20 on the Celebrate. Now, Talos sees her own Celebrate, so her own stat block is like 3068. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's get going. Athane. Athane is a lot more challenging than Rax, I think. So this is going to be tough. The Deafening Heralds are also going to be very nasty. Because they're going to suppress my revenge effects. That's a lot of how I'm killing. And I didn't find a quick effect for my Sweeper either. Alright, so we play Hall of Mirrors. We play Talos in the Hall of Mirrors. That's the funny shit, and that's the, like, first thing we gotta do. We're gonna bring this guy out with the Cold Kalia. Since we got the Exile's Diadem, and we're gonna be suppressed out of our revenge a lot, I'm just gonna Diadem him. And now, I think I just want to play damage on this floor. We're locked out of our Host Guard, at least to start. So, let me see. I just play the Battle Guard and the Crusader, and we're just going to try and, like, shuffle around the Sentry and the Crusader to, like, keep the damage spread nice. Let's see. I want to fly one of the Taloses down here. Actually, we can fit 2 Talos down here for now. We'll move them later if we feel like we need to. Let's do this. We've got 13 here. Let's see. I might send this Crusader to the front. I'm going to bring in the Hymnist. And I'm going to Aquath so I can bring in more units. I don't have to redraw them or anything. Now this is like quick multi-strike with a lot of guys. Yeah, I'll let the Titan Sentry take one more turn of it. This guy doesn't heal when he does his thing, so I need to make sure that we're kind of maximizing this. Alright, Shield of Wing is not the best here, but it is okay. I need to watch out for bringing in too much in the Hall of Mirrors, because getting duplicated means that we occupy that floor really fast. I want to make sure the Bone Dog and my Host Guard can land here, at least. So if I play the other stuff, I fill this up, but I can Rising Rage. Shield Steward fills it up immediately. I think I can afford to do this with the Warblers. And then I move on. Silencing me out of moving something in front of that. We've got our Bone Dogs. Our 2239 Bone Dogs, actually. It's a good stat line. More of our inspirations in. Moving on. Okay. When the Titan Sentry shows death in his preview, move this to the front. We bring in the double Endless Host Guard. They get different effects, which is funny. We'll play one's Flam. And then I think actually if we got 6 units up here. So I want to get these guys either quick or multi-strike. Let's get them multi-strike for now. And I put you at the front. So I can't get them quick and multi-strike, right? That's a full 7 units up there anyway, so there's not much I can do about it. 3 units there. We almost never get the ability to move our units down with this. So the Unnamed Tome is my secret weapon against Athane to try and make sure she doesn't wreck me with her abilities. Okay, I've got a Heaven's Word. Got 6 units. I could try to bring in... Okay, get this follower out, which is surprisingly damaging. Play the Inspire. Got 32 Valor on the Battle Dancer. I don't get the shift effect with him if I move him now. But I think I play this out for the damage mitigation, the damage shield, and to get somebody the armor. Let's play this here. So if we silence, we lose just 2 units. We get to celebrate. What if we do that and then we inspire? Still losing 2. Drop the Vengeful Shards. What if we get some damage in there? Alright, still about the same. Okay, with that we lose just 1 unit, and we get everything. I think that is fine with me. We will lose 1 Host Guard. Unfortunately, is not the cardless Host Guard. Losing the cardless Host Guard is like losing nothing. But honestly, I'm just happy to have Athane killed. Unfortunately, I only got the Celebrate scaling onto 1 villager. But yeah, playing Talos is much more like managing an army than it is managing, like, singular strong units. It's a very different, very strange feel. But now we get plus 20, plus 40 onto all of our units, because we survived with 2 Taloses. And that's pretty huge. Let's see, Heroic Die, these are all pretty valuable. I think we don't have the room to fit more birds. So it should be the Twin Blade or the Heroic Dive. I don't have any strike triggers to benefit from. My units have really weirdly big stat blocks. It's kind of funny to look at. Let's see. Can I combine the Twin Blade with the other thing? No, I don't have a Merchant of Arms left. I've got Magic or Steel. And I'm probably coming over here for the Forgotten Boons. Or maybe I'm grabbing the Empyrean Wealth to duplicate something. Let me take the Heroic Die. Makes me a little more adaptable. How do we feel about Frostpiercer? I feel like it's maybe a little difficult to know what to do with the Frostpiercer, but it's definitely effective somewhere on somebody. I even have like a 4471 Spear Steward. There's probably a zillion places to hold this and get value. Now for duplications. I think duplicating the Cold Kalia might be very strong. It's not quick, but it's still pretty great. Um, hmm. Hmm. Sure, I'll do that. I mean, it's a 3071 sweeper. I do have actually Emergence of Steel with an Empyrean Well, so I am going to go on this side, actually. And we can get a Speed Stone for one of the Cold Kalias. So our bottom floor can definitely be, like, Titan Sentry Cold Kalia, Titan Sentry Speedy Cold Kalia, normal Cold Kalia, and we should be in a really good spot. Let's see. I'm gonna take extra attack on this follower since he triple strikes. This dualism, I don't think is very strong. I need to look at the Trinket Merchant too. Well, I don't really care about these much, which is good because I can't afford them anymore. We could dualism the Frostbite or maybe the Valor somewhere. Doesn't seem great. The remaining units I have don't really need or care about extra health. If I reroll, I will see a Valor Stone and the Rune Stone. I don't care about the Rune Stone that much. Does anybody need a Valor Stone that badly? I could Valor Stone the Cold Kalia. It's not great. It's not super exciting. I usually want Valor Stones to be on units that are definitely going to tank. Actually, there's also the question of where the Frost Piercer's going. So, if I dualism a unit that's going to get the Frost Piercer, they'll apply double Frostbite off the Frost Piercer. I think I'll be comfortable putting that on either the second Cold Kalia or the follower, since the follower's triple striking, and does have one of my better stat blocks. So let me put dualism on this follower, and we'll plan on making that the guy who holds the Frost Piercer. And this Heartstone is pretty much cosmetic. I'm going to put it on the Battle Dancer, because I think there are a number of situations where I tank with the Battle Dancer. And then for duplication, let's see. I could duplicate this follower. His upgrades aren't great. Let's see. If I play the Diadem on the Titan Sentry, then I could get a third Cold Kalia in on the same floor. I'm not super enamored about that. I think I'm going to duplicate the Host Guard. And a lot of our game plan in these final fights is that we kind of throw down Host Guards from the top rope and hope that the numbers are enough that we just win. I do not have, like, a sanitized or obvious plan here. I'm just going to play stuff. I have bumped my Mirror Room out of my deployment, unfortunately, because banner units are at a higher priority than those deployable cards. So I have the option of waiting on Talos until I get the room. I think I would like to take that option. So I'm going to play a Shield Steward up here initially, because he can just be bait for the boss. I don't want the boss to show up in a weird spot. I'm just going to play like this initially. I don't need to duplicate this follower, so I think I just bring him in here. Yeah, let me just do that. So this room is going to shrink to 2 available spaces, and then I want to bring Talos in. I would like for this Shield Steward to die. It's kind of in the way. We are going to quick sweep most of the problems out of this, I think. Let's see. Do that. This looks like I have a pretty good heroic dive play. Double health and armor. Let's see. I'm just gonna play this on the Battle Dancer. Gets his Valor up to 30, so he should be tanking pretty well up here. I don't really need the Titan Sentry's revenge effects. I can just do the work with sweeping. The sweep effect is for 70 right now. Once I draw the Bloodthirsty Blade, it goes up to about 80-ish, plus about 18 from the other stuff. There's the Bloodthirsty Blade. We want that on the Quick Sweeper. they're going to be the one getting the most slaves. Let me see. I'll give you guys some more attack, and I'll take a self-sack here. Now we are getting the revenge effect. Throw out Inspired here. Don't power you. The question is whether or not we're killing these 500s, which currently, not really. We're losing the Shield Steward, which I do prefer. Let me bring in the Warbler. And I want to make sure the follower gets the scaling. We'll bring in the big Spear Steward. I think this is basically fine. This is kind of the way I want things to look before I get the mirror room. There's our Hall of Mirrors. And I'll use a Quath so that I can bring in the Host Guard. Okay, we've got a Lone Coat Host Guard and a Equalizing Rings Host Guard. I'm going to bring in the Frost Piercer here. I think we move on after that. I can fly these Host Guards down whenever. We're going to miss the Death Metal Hymnist for now. It's like we're pretty much quick killing that floor. We are not quite floating enough Valor on the bottom floor to solve all of our problems, just most of them. There's our second Host Guard. Let's see. This floor, we can fit something else in with the Diadem, right? Diadem on you. I'm going to fly down the Cardless Host Guards. Fly down both of them. We actually get a little Pyre Gel from this randomly generated lava armor. I'm not going to play the Forgone Power because I might lose the Rising Rage. Okay, monitoring the health of our front line on the bottom floor. There's Talos. I need to fly something out of here so that I can fit in the Bone Dog. Fly Talos all the way down to the first floor. There's our double Bone Dog. It's nicely. Okay, now we just monitor the health of our units. We can maybe Rise and Rage some stuff accordingly. Full 7 there. Yeah, I just want to watch the health of the Titan Sentry and figure out when I need to fly something down to protect the Titan Sentry. Apart from that, we're looking really good. I don't want to play into incants. I can do this. But yeah, we've got an absolute huge crowd of stats, and we're just going to double high-five our way across the goal. Just drop 2 Inspires there. Let's see. Okay. So we are not winning this fight right now. Still not winning, but now we're getting both the Talos Celebrates. We have room for another unit. Okay, we are losing 3 units that are all real cards. These guys are on cooldown. We have the option of moving something up here and then moving something up here, but I think it is complicated and gets us comparatively little. I can fit in this Warbler, so the Warbler gets the Talos Celebrates. What am I missing? What is not getting? Okay, the Death Metal Hymnist did not get the upgrades, and neither did the Shield Steward. Other than that, I'm pretty fine with this. We got the upgrades onto both the Cold Kalias, and that's probably what I'm looking for the most. So in the final fight, we don't really care how many Celebrates we get or what we miss. It's just a matter of doing the damage. So we are now beyond the point where we needed to be doing all of the optimizing. Yeah, everybody gets plus 20, plus 40. And we get the double Bone Dogs, so we're up to a 175 Pyre. We can duplicate another card. I think it might be the Bloodthirsty Blade here. We can get Bloodthirsty Blades on either both of our Cold Kalias, or we can put one of the Bloodthirsty Blades on our secondary followers. In either case, I think that's the biggest damage gain. Although it is tempting to double the host guards again. For the run where we are mastering home guards, they've been doing some pretty good work. I always love to do a lot of work with the cards that I'm freshly mastering. I don't want to master cards because I happened to put them in a deck that was already winning. I want the decks to win because of the cards that I'm mastering when I'm mastering them. And this is not disappointing. Titan Sentry. We want the fast Cold Kalia, the non-fast Cold Kalia. We got the Bloodthirsty Blade off of the Whetstone at 90 total attack power. It's pretty good. This time, I think I will bring in Talos immediately, because I don't need the scaling anymore. But the host guards, I will bring in later. And I'll use a Shield Steward to help block for Talos to start. Okay, I think I go for Hall of Mirrors, fly out Talos, play the doubled follower, and give one of them the Frost Piercer immediately. That's going to start contributing damage super fast. I'm going to get a little bit of Valor scaling going there. The extra 5 Valor off this Liquid Courage is meaningful, but not as meaningful as some of our other cards, so I'm not going to use my fire effect just yet. This Titan Sentry is going to take a beating. It's just a reality. I cannot move something out of here to fit in the host guard yet. Unfortunate. I could fit in the host guard here. I do have another host guard coming in. I think I want to play the other cards a little more than I want that. This, and throw down the Titan's Gratitude. Where? Let me just hit Savagery with it, I think. Yeah, this guy's going to take a lot of corruption and have a bad time. I want to silence out on the bottom floor Entropy. Play the Firelight. Let's see. Yeah, I'm cool with the Shield Steward going away. I want to free up some Hall of Mirrors space. Let's see. Self-sack here doesn't save him a lot. It's just damage shield 2. I think it's pretty effective on this Battle Dancer right now. So I can have him work for a while and then put the Steadfast Crusader back in. Accelerate this a little bit. I was hoping we would drop the Curse of Entropy. Didn't happen. Had some good Frostbite output going in. Okay, how are you doing? Titan Sentry is looking bad. All right. See, this follower doesn't do that much for me, but he sure does occupy space, and he's got 50 health, so it's actually fine. He's taking all of his health in Corruption anyway, so I probably cannot save him. I'm going to try this Heroic Dive. It does trigger some shifts. Does give this guy some more Valor. I'm going to hold the Rising Rage for now. Do this. I'd really like to see my host guards hit the can right now. I'm due. Okay, they're not showing up. Losing him to Corruption, that's fine. Bring this in. I could play the Shield of Wing, the Steadfast Crusader. Actually, wait. Steadfast Crusaders has less health than the Battle Dancer right now. Pop up the Battle Dancer. Play a Pyrelight. This would be a decent turn to use a Quath's Reservation, but I think I can be greedy. We can afford to lose this follower and this Titan Sentry. We're doing really good damage to Entropy. Savagery's taking another 500. This Frostbite is pretty nasty. I think we're only clocked by Dominion. Yeah, looks like Entropy's all done. There's our Host Guards coming in. Let's see. This one's fragile, so I'm going to put him back here. Fit in our Bone Dogs. We are dealing with him, so it's just a matter of Dominion now. Play out a Warbler. I don't want to miss a Firelight, so I will a Quaths there. He's going to take a bit of a bruising, so I might have to move him soon. But we've got the Rising Rages held for that purpose. We're honestly just pretty good, because we don't need to scale anymore. All we need to do is win. So it's just a matter of playing the Pyre Lights until we've got the win. He's being killed. He's not being killed by his, do this or this? Let me just do this. Gets both of them Valor. He'll Valor up a little bit. That's all fine. I think we win at the end of this next turn. And I still got 2 Bone Dog Celebrates out of the deal. Yeah, that's the win. It should be the win even if I play these curses. So we'll get some score. Looks good. Ending with 152 Pyre Hell. That's the double high fives run. That's we're celebrating with 2 Taloses. But we didn't get the 2 Talos celebrate at the last fight, but it wasn't necessary. Not gonna do anything. But yeah, even just having Mirror Room out for 2 fights is worth +20, +40 on all your units across each of those fights. Yeah. Celebrate Talos is very rough in the early game, but in the late game, the amount of stats is so crazy. We missed the Celebrate on our first fight. And the Host Guard gets us our full Banished Mastery. We've got 2 more Talos runs to play.